As president, I have, therefore, made a deliberate and strategic decision as a Pacific nation. The United States will play a larger and long-term role in shaping this region and its future. By upholding core principles and in close partnership with our allies and friends. Let me tell you what this means. First, we seek security, which is the foundation of peace and prosperity. We stand for an international order in which the rights end. Responsibilities of all nations and all people are upheld. Where international law and norms are enforced. Where commerce and freedom of navigation are not impeded. Where emerging powers contribute to regional security. And where disagreements are resolved peacefully. That's the future that we seek. Now, I know that some in this region have wondered about America's commitment to upholding these principles. So let me address this directly. As the United States puts our fiscal house in order. We are reducing our spending. And, yes, after a decade of extraordinary growth in our military budgets and as we definitively end the war in Iraq. And begin to wind down the war in Afghanistan, we will make some reductions in defense spending. As we consider the future of our armed forces, we've begun a review that will identify our most important strategic interests and guide our defense priorities and spending over the coming decade. So here is what this region must know. As we end today's wars, I have directed my national security team to make our presence and mission in the Asia-Pacific a top priority. As a result, reductions in U.S. defense spending will not, I repeat, will not come at the expense of the Asia-Pacific. My guidance is clear. As we plan and budget for the future, we will allocate the resources necessary to maintain our strong military presence in this region. We will preserve our unique ability to project power and deter threats to peace. We will keep our commitments, including our treaty obligations to allies like Australia. And we will constantly strengthen our capabilities to meet the needs of the 21st century. Our enduring interests in the region demand our enduring presence in the region. The United States is a Pacific power, and we are here to stay. Indeed, we are already modernizing America's defense posture across the Asia-Pacific. It will be more broadly distributed, maintaining our strong presence in Japan and the Korean Peninsula. While enhancing our presence in Southeast Asia, our posture will be more flexible. With new capabilities to ensure that our forces can operate freely. And our posture will be more sustainable. By helping allies and partners build their capacity, with more training and exercises. We see our new posture here in Australia. The initiatives that the Prime Minister and I announced. Yesterday will bring our two militaries even closer together. We'll have new opportunities to train with other allies and partners, from the Pacific to the Indian Ocean. And it will allow us to respond faster to the full range of challenges. including humanitarian crises and disaster relief. Since World War II, Australians have warmly welcomed American service members who've passed through. On behalf of the American people, I thank you for welcoming those who will come next. As they ensure that our alliance stays strong and ready for the tests of our time. We see America's enhanced presence in the alliance that we've strengthened. In Japan, where our alliance remains a cornerstone of regional security. In Thailand, where we're partnering for disaster relief. In the Philippines, where we're increasing ship visits and training. And in South Korea, where our commitment to the security of the Republic of Korea will never waver. Indeed, we also reiterate our resolve to act firmly against any proliferation activities by North Korea. The transfer of nuclear materials or material by North Korea to states or non-state. Entities would be considered a grave threat to the United States and our allies. And we would hold North Korea fully accountable for the consequences of such action. We see America's enhanced presence across Southeast Asia in our partnership with Indonesia against piracy and violent extremism. And in our work with Malaysia to prevent proliferation. In the ships we'll deploy to Singapore, and in our closer cooperation with Vietnam and Cambodia. And in our welcome of India as it looks east and plays a larger role as an Asian power. At the same time, we'll re-engage with our regional organizations. Our work in Bali this week will mark my third meeting with ASEAN leaders. And I'll be proud to be the first American president to attend the East Asia Summit. And together, I believe we can address shared challenges. Such as proliferation and maritime security, including cooperation in the South China Sea. Meanwhile, the United States will continue our effort to build a cooperative relationship with China. All of our nations, Australia, the United States, all of our nations. Have a profound interest in the rise of a peaceful and prosperous China. That's why the United States welcomes it. We've seen that China can be a partner from reducing tensions on the Korean Peninsula to preventing proliferation. And we'll seek more opportunities for cooperation with Beijing. Including greater communication between our militaries to promote understanding and avoid miscalculation. We will do this, even as we continue to speak candidly to Beijing about the importance of upholding international norms and respecting the universal human rights of the Chinese people. A secure and peaceful Asia is the foundation for the second area in which America is leading again. And that's advancing our shared prosperity. History teaches us the greatest force the world has ever known for creating wealth and opportunity is free markets. So we seek economies that are open and transparent. We seek trade that is free and fair. And we seek an open international economic system, where rules are clear and every nation plays by them. In Australia and America, we understand these principles. We're among the most open economies on Earth. Six years into our landmark trade agreement, commerce between us has soared. Our workers are creating new partnerships and new products. Like the advanced aircraft technologies we build together in Victoria. We're the leading investor in Australia. And you invest more in America than you do in any other nation, creating good jobs in both countries. We recognize that economic partnerships can't just be about one nation extracting another's resources. We understand that no long-term strategy for growth can be imposed from above. Real prosperity that fosters innovation, and prosperity that endures comes from unleashing our greatest economic resource, and that's the entrepreneurial spirit, the talents of our people. So even as America competes aggressively in Asian markets, we're forging the economic partnerships that create opportunity for all. Building on our historic trade agreement with South Korea. We're working with Australia and our other APEC partners to create a seamless regional economy. And with Australia and other partners, we're on track to achieve our most ambitious trade agreement yet. And a potential model for the entire region, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. The United States remains the world's largest and most dynamic economy. But in an interconnected world, we all rise and fall together. That's why I pushed so hard to put the G20 at the front and center of global economic decision-making. To give more nations a leadership role in managing the international economy, including Australia. And together, we saved the world economy from a depression. And now, our urgent challenge is to create the growth that puts people to work. We need growth that is fair, where every nation plays by the rules, where workers' rights are respected. And our businesses can compete on a level playing field, where the intellectual property and new technologies that fuel innovation are protected. And where currencies are market-driven so no nation has an unfair advantage. We also need growth that is broad not just for the few, but for the many with reforms that protect consumers from abuse and a global commitment to end the corruption that stifles growth. We need growth that is balanced, because we will all prosper more when countries with large surpluses take action to boost demand at home. And we need growth that is sustainable. This includes the clean energy that creates green jobs and combats climate change, which cannot be denied. We see it in the stronger fires, the devastating floods, the Pacific Islands confronting rising seas. And as countries with large carbon footprints, the United States and Australia have a special responsibility to lead. Every nation will contribute to the solution in its own way and I know this issue is not without controversy, in both our countries. But what we can do and what we are doing is to work together to make unprecedented investments in clean energy, to increase energy efficiency. And to meet the commitments we made at Copenhagen and Cancun. We can do this, and we will.